A warm welcome to you from Boucher Field here in Bangor, where the hosts today, Husson University, are still searching for their first win of the season here on this ground. The Eagles are set to take on St. Joseph's College, a side who are looking for their first win of the 2025 campaign as well. Hello, everybody. My name is Philip Robarge, and I'm joined alongside Caden Trenowith. Caden, this is an out-of-conference matchup between two teams that could use a win here today. Both coming off tough losses. What do you expect from this one?
Yeah, I expect to see a team with a little bit more connection on both sides, right? These are two teams that are pretty much in the same realm with how they're trying to build their squad right now, right? I mean, it's early in the season. These out-of-conference games, you want to play your younger players. You want to get everybody some experience, everybody some touches. You want to work out those kinks. That's what you expect to see right now. Husson the other day, they played a really good game for 87 minutes. I think they just need to finish those last 3 minutes of this game, and they're going to be okay. UNE, they just had a bad first half in their first game of the season. They had about a week now to think it over, and they're going to come out firing, I believe.
And you mentioned Husson's home opener against Bates last Wednesday. You and I, of course, did the commentary for that game. I think it's safe to say that neither of us saw that coming, certainly not with how Husson was defending so well, and Bates seemed to be all out of answers. Still, you had probably the best viewpoint of those goals. Sort of break down for us those last 5 minutes where it seemed Husson had the result locked up, and then, a minute 30 to go, Bates finishes it off with an incredible comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those were great. That was a great 87 minutes played by Husson University. They had two defensive letdowns that whole game, and those are the two goals that Bates capitalized on that ended up burning Husson in the end. The free kick off the Knoll foul, and then the Sugg goal where she just seemed to walk through everybody. She just seemed to Houdini it right into the bottom corner of the net. I mean, Gabriella Smith, Kaylee Knoll, Emma Nicholson, they did their best to keep that game 1-0 for the longest period of time. We said it during the broadcast. It was a bend, don't break style of play. In those last 3 minutes, they eventually broke. They just need to figure out that way to finish off those last 3 minutes. But I also think that starts with offense. Sometimes they say defense makes the best offense. But in that case, towards the end of that Bates game, you saw that Husson offense. They started to be a little bit depleted. We saw less and less runs from Addie Lasley, Devin St. Louis. I think if you start experimenting more with that offense, trying to force a little bit more, you're going to have a very easy task on your defense today.
And Husson's, you mentioned it just now, and you mentioned in the last broadcast, their defense and their bend, don't break strategy. This St. Joe's team are going to play a lot like Bates. Do you switch up the philosophy here, or do you defend the same?
No, absolutely not. I think you play the same. I think now you've learned from that. It's been a week since your last game. You've definitely watched the film countless number of times. This is a great team. They're led by Emma Nicholson and Kaylee Knoll on that back line. I mean, Kaylee Knoll, the two-time NAC Defensive Player of the Year. You just don't get that honor by just doing the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, that's repetition. She knows what she's going to do on that back line. This Husson defense is going to be fine, and we'll see what they do in this next 90, but I think they'll be okay today.
Starting lineups and national anthem are soon to follow. We'll take a quick break.
At this time, let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's contest. First for the visiting Monks. Sophomore goalkeeper number 1, Ashlyn Garrett. Senior forward number 2, Elise Perrin. A senior midfielder number 5, Emily Jackson. A sophomore midfielder number 6, Abby Laney. A senior defender number 8, Paige Sawyer. A sophomore defender number 10, Maeve Davis. A senior midfielder number 13, Lelia Weir. A junior midfielder number 17, Bridget Davis. A junior defender number 19, Allie Dowdy. A senior forward number 21, Sydney Gallup. And a junior defender number 23, Madison Ayers. St. Joe's is coached by Janelle Harris. At this time, let's meet the starting lineup for your Husson University Eagles. In goal, a freshman from Biddeford, Maine, number 44, Gabriella Smith. A sophomore from Sanford, Maine, number 3, Haley Tarbox. A senior from Ellsworth, Maine, number 6, Addie Lasley. A junior from Carmel, Maine, number 7, Lindsay Reed. A senior from Holden, Maine, number 13, Devin St. Louis. A senior from Herman, Maine, number 19, Madison Higgins. A senior from Deerfield, New Hampshire, number 23, Kaylee Knoll. A freshman from Tinley Park, Illinois, number 28, Taya Gerfin. A sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 29, Paige Dunn. A junior from Corinth, Maine, number 30, Riley Speed. And a junior from Petoskey, Michigan, number 33, Emma Nicholson. The Eagles are coached by Dennis Mullins, and he's assisted by Nick Christensen, Matt Goodman, Chris Selby, and Megan Buddymeyer. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and honor America for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, both teams are ready, and so are we, Caden. Husson are 4-16 at home here against St. Joe's. Loss against Bates last week means that they'll want to right the ship today, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. This season history between these two teams is very interesting. They've played each other mostly every year of both their program histories. Haven't played since 2019. I know they've had a couple scrimmages, preseason scrimmages, spring league scrimmages in there. But since 2019, these two teams have not played each other. And I believe St. Joe's owns the matchup 34-7 all time.
That's certainly a very large margin, and it's something that these Husson players will be well aware of. I know their coach, Dennis Mullins, would have told them that. But St. Joe's are coming off a loss themselves, 2-0 to rivals UNE. They get 5 straight losses for them against the Nor'easters. That dates back to 2021 for them. So they're not coming in on good form.
I think the one thing for both of these offenses that you can say is they're going to want to push the offense quite a bit in this one. Only 4 shots and 3 of those on goal for the Monks in their season debut at UNE. Husson, the 1 goal against Bates the other day, but they have not been pushing the offense like we normally see out of the Husson women's soccer team.
And right off the bat here, we see pressing by Husson, forcing a Garrett kick. The ball goes out of play for the first throw-in of the day for St. Joe's. Won by Ellie Perron. Here's Dunn.
Press together.
And Garrett kicks. Clear again. Tarbox not able to find a pass in the box.
Tarbox getting the start here. She looked really good against Bates coming off the bench. She's someone that can create a lot of space in the midfield on her own, finds the foot of her players on the striker opportunities. Look out for her to make an assist sometime today.
Speed not connecting with that through ball, and Weir will let it run for a goal kick. Right. Back to the keeper. He's got some pressure on her.
That's too easy. Come on, Paige.
Able to find Weir. And they're in, forcing Smith to come out of her goal. Kept well. Here's Dunn back in possession for Husson.
Smith getting her 3rd straight start, the freshman out of Biddeford, Maine. She has looked really comfortable in her first couple games.
And Leslie's in. She's one-on-one. Good save there. The rebound falls to her on her right foot. And Husson have a 1-0 advantage. Just like that. Husson on the quick break, finding the scoreboard early.
Addie Lasley just doing what Addie Lasley does, creates havoc on the through ball. Good initial save right there by Gurrett. She made a couple saves right there. Lasley kept it together. And she did a great job finding the back of the net. Addie Lasley putting in the bottom corner, keeping her composure, making it a 1-0 advantage. We said in the pregame show these offenses are going to be looking to fire early. How about the first 3 minutes of this one? Husson finding the back of the net.
That's certainly something that not a lot of people would have expected from this team. Would have expected a much more defensive game. Ayers to take the throw in. It's Gallup double teamed. Able to win it is Nicholson. And cleared out again. possession, St. Louis, but able to find speed on the outside. Husson of numbers. Not able to find that pass there. Possession's back with St. Joe's. They'll look to attack. Davis not able to find anybody. It's Nicholson in possession. Plays a great through ball there. And Garrett able to calm things down for the moment.
That is something Emma Nicholson did really well a week ago. She was reading the field really well from that left back position, able to force the action even from all the way back on the defensive line.
Get it down and play.
Here's Perron now taking it.
Good, Riley.
Looking for
Who's got
Leahy.
5? 10 in front of you.
Over to Weir. Battling for it is done in there.
Be ready, Addie. Be ready, Addie. Sender.
And that'll be a free kick against the Eagles there. It's done battling hard inside. But they'll call a foul.
Paige Dunn debuted with the Eagles in 2023. However, still only in her sophomore season, missed last season due to an injury. She has played mostly every single game up to this point. She has looked really strong in the midfield so far, coming off a year where she didn't play.
And that's the first save of the day for Gabby Smith. She played excellent in that game against Bates on Wednesday. Very solid 90 minutes.
Keep it down. Play now. Play.
Look for St. Louis and Nicholson.
Combine again.
It's done playing a long ball. So Gerfin not able to catch up to that one. That one will go out for another St. Joe's throw.
No foul.
Ayers finds Perron, who looks for Gallup. Won by Nicholson. Dunn not able to keep it. And St. Louis looks for her strike partner, Lasley.
Good, Ted. Bring her in. Time.
Looking for St. Louis again. Not able to find her.
Can we possess? Green, get it down and organize.
It's Gallup back on the ball.
Get it down. Kaylee, step your lineup.
Touchdown for Tarbox, but not able to control it.
Stay level.
Back and forth the possession goes. Here's St. Louis.
Maddie, step.
Lasley's in here. It's a tight angle. She'll look for support.
Kaylee.
Floats the cross, but it'll go clear. Husson with the throw.
Hey, Lindsay, one of you.
That was amazing defense right there from the Monks, making sure, Addie Lasley is so quick on her feet. They just did a great job keeping her in front of them, forcing the clear, eliminating the danger.
Reed not able to find Gerfin there.
The throw in. Can we step?
It'll be a throw for St. Joe's.
Here. Step up into that space. Stay tight, Reed.
It'll be another throw.
Hold that half.
Laney will leave it for Ayers, who will look to go long and find Gallup.
That's Green. Well done.
And she's not able to control it. That'll be a Husson throw.
Hey, let's get active. We're standing. Simple things, ladies. Come on.
One back by Husson. Lasley trying to find some space. She'll play it out wide, that speed. Floats one in. So close.
What an effort by Speed. I did not think she was going to take one from there. But she lets it rip. She almost made the Monks pay. But it'll just be a goal kick.
At first I thought that one was going to be a cross, but that one getting very, very close to Goret's net.
Riley, stay right there.
She'll find Ayers, who immediately is pressed.
Well done, Taya.
And that one will go out again. We'll have another Husson throw.
We find Haley's feet.
One headed clear. It's Gallup. Plays a through ball to Perrin. And cleaning it up there was Madison Higgins.
Yeah, Madison Higgins with a great read defensively, going stride for stride to get that ball clear. Nolt with the initial step, just a little costly. That one gets past her. Higgins doing a great job recovering for her center back.
Gallup can't find a teammate, and Dunn will clear. They'll do it again.
Talk to her.
Davis goes long.
Step.
Try and find Bridget Davis. And Higgins clears again.
Stop.
And collected calmly there. Gabby Smith with the first real attack coming for St. Joe's.
Up together, up and in. Be first green, come on. Good hit, Gabs.
Try and find Lasley. Cleared away. Tarbox couldn't control it. Here's Gallup. Gallup trying to find Perron. And again, well defended by Husson there. Gerfin. Husson being forced into their own half here. Go all the way back to Smith.
Good, good. Take your time, take your time. Excellent job. Who wants it, Green? Come on.
Trying to go long and finding Lewis.
Good job, Dick. Well done.
St. Louis over to Speed as Husson looked to control the play here early.
Open up, M.
Ever since that opening mistake from the Monks, we've seen a lot more pressure throughout the midfield. The first couple minutes of this game, Husson was running away through the midfield and right through the back line. Now they're looking a little bit more connected. The Monks are doing a great job communicating now.
And we'll expect Husson to really be keying in on that counterattack to try and hit them like they hit Bates.
On your back.
Already with a lead here early on.
Use her. Use that. See that. You're okay.
As this one will go out of play.
Right now. Time. Coming on now.
We mentioned their last matchup coming in 2019. Husson lost 3-0 on the day.
Go ahead. Riley, pressure.
That was away in Standish at the SJC complex. Husson were outshot 28-4 in that one, with 21 shots coming into the second half and just a barrage.
Too slow, ladies. Come on. Daddy's on. Good. Take some
As Husson continue to pass out from the back here.
2019 was a long time ago, Phil. A college generation has come and gone since then. Obviously, 2 classes now have graduated for Husson that have never played St. Joe's. So, I mean, this is a completely different matchup. This is Dennis Mullen's first real matchup against St. Joe's. So it is a long time between 2019 and 2025. It's really hard to compare those 2 scores now.
In the first corner of the game for Husson coming in. And it just couldn't fall to anybody there.
Yeah, I believe that was Nicholson making the run in across the PK. She did a great job getting there. It was either her or Reed, and Reed has been really good find on the set pieces so far this year. She already has a goal. That one coming against Bates last time out.
So we have a break there, but it's one of the St. Joe's players shaken up on that one. And here's the goal kick for Garrett. You mentioned 2019. That was a long time, and then a year prior to that was the last time these two teams played here at Boucher. That game ended in a narrow defeat for the Eagles in their season opener. Here's Gerfin. And not testing Garrett there.
I mean, 2019, we were sophomores in high school, still ripping JV high school soccer.
That's right.
Now we're seniors in college. That's a long time ago.
That's right. Fond memories, I'm sure. A lot of these players have the same. Here's Perron. Working it down the line, looking for a way in, trying to find Gallup, but cleared away that time. And Garrett would be the first to get there. Nicholson has some time. Plays Gerfin. All the way back to Smith. Had quite a few chances early on in this game for both sides. As we could have another one here. St. Louis not able to find that one.
If you want a little home field advantage here at Boucher Field, there's nothing better than forcing this goalie on the left side during a sunset. That sun sets right over this press box. You can see Garrett now covering her eyes, trying to shield it from the sun. It is really tough. If they can force a long shot in from this left side of the field, Garrett is going to have trouble finding it in the sun. We saw it earlier with speed on that right-hand side, on the opposite side, forcing that long shot. It is really, really hard to see the ball this time of day here at Boucher.
That could very well prove to be a factor, as this one will run again.
And we saw it at the coin toss. Husson initially won the coin toss, and their first thing was, hey, we wanted to defend this right side of the field. They knew this sun could play a factor into them scoring a couple goals in the first half.
They've already got one. They'll look to add another one. As that one will go against the Eagles for St. Joe's throw. Only the one real attack so far in this game. That's a long one in. Laney can't catch up to it. And Smith controls it. Good interception by Perron there. Trying to find something, but nothing doing. That's pressured off the ball there was Gerfin. No fouls yet in this game. It's been a little physical, but the referees maintaining a clean book so far. Something that certainly became a factor in the Bates game a little bit was that physicality. Husson going toe for toe with the Bobcats. First ball, second ball won by Dunn. And the first foul now for the Eagles. His speed was tripped up. Husson, of course, their goal against Bates coming by way of the set piece.
It was a lot closer than this one is currently sat, but Kaylee Nolt does have the leg to get it right to that 18 and cause havoc.
And it was a Nolt free kick that led to a Lindsey Reed header that gave the Eagles their only goal in that one. Trying to play a ball in. Unable to. Was Madison Higgins. And we'll see a Husson throw again. Tarbox a little shooken up on that one, but as the throw goes against the Eagles, maybe caught the leg of the defender there. Husson enjoying a lot of the possession here in this first half. This last 5 minutes as the ball gets played through to St. Louis. But nothing will come of it. So we see the first substitution of the game for the Eagles. Laura Martell will come in for the departing Lindsey Reed. Martell out of Westport, Mass. A senior on this team. Played 36 minutes against Bates, not starting today. Haley Tarbox in her place.
Martell, the senior, is someone that has been really utilized off the bench for the Eagles. She always comes in and provides a spark, either defensively or even forcing some action offensively. Over 1,000 minutes in her career, mostly in 47 games played, most of them coming off the bench for the Eagles. Played a big part down the stretch last year in the NAC championship run.
Paige Sawyer getting the tackle in on Dunn there in the box, but the referee says it was clean. It's been solid defense so far, other than the one mistake for St. Joe's. Not too much has gotten by them.
No, so far, pretty much the only thing they've struggled with is the long through balls that we've seen Addie Lasley and Devin St. Louis try to run onto.
Here's Gallup. And a very big challenge there. And the ref will pull this one back for a free kick.
Charlie Brown in the middle saying all ball on that Nicholson challenge. She comes through again on another big challenge. She had a couple of those against Bates as well that really stopped them from scoring.
Free kick taken short now. Out to Nicholson. Here's Dunn. She's seen a lot of the ball this half. She'll play a great ball through. Speed not able to catch up to that one. It looked a great ball initially, but just a little too long. We'll see another substitution here, or rather the first substitution for St. Joe's. It'll be Emily Ann Biddings-Augustine coming in for Abby Laney. Forward coming on for a midfielder. So we might see a little bit of switching now as the first half moves on.
Checking in for the Monks, number 4, Emmeline Biddings-Augustine.
Here's the ball through, not able to find the foot of Augustine there. And Smith comes all the way out to get that one. Fending off the oncoming Perron. Smith, only a freshman. We mentioned just what big impact she had during that Bates game. She certainly played above what the paper would say. Certainly played more like a junior, or at least a more experienced player in her position.
Yeah, did a really great job reading some through balls, reading some tough crosses that came across to her. Right there, same thing. Through ball coming in, looks like a Monks player can run onto it, but just doing a great job reading, coming off her line, no hesitation at all. Once she makes that decision to come and grab that ball, she is going full force at it. She's doing a great job so far in her freshman campaign. That's why she gets the nod again today.
Reed and Davis battling it out. As we'll see another substitution now, the St. Louis coming off, and it'll be Jackie Pagburn coming on to take over. 15 goals and 7 assists during her time at John Baptist High School. Very, very clinical.
Penobscot Valley Conference first team as well. She is someone that can provide a spark off this bench, one of these freshmen that Dennis Mullins speaks very highly of.
Here's Dunn. A great through ball. But Lasley just not able to get her footing right on that one, and it'll go for a throw-in. And play will be called back for another foul. Not sure who that one was on, but it'll be Davis to take the free kick.
Not really sure which one that one was on, but or what the foul was called, but I believe it was on Dunn. I think it might have been a dangerous play, elevating that leg right there on that, try to volley it back into the box.
And this could be trouble here. It's Gallup. Augustine couldn't find it. And Jackson with the ball over to Bridget Davis, who couldn't find the finish.
How about that tackle inside the 18 by Kaylee Nolt? That one's saving an opportunity there for the Monks. That is something she does so well. She is not scared to get down, make a tackle. She does a great job there saving that chance.
We saw that definitely during the Bates game. She played a very, very solid 90 minutes. Now the subs allowed to come on. It'll be Brielle Pagot for Bridget Davis, the one who just had that chance for St. Joe's.
They get a junior that normally comes off the bench in her career, 31 games played, but over 1,000 minutes. Someone they utilize in this more of attacking midfield position, trying to spark a little offense.
And that offense looks to be stuffed out here. It's great defending by Husson, and now they're on the break. Here's Pagburn. And the through ball there. Pagburn, near post, squeezes in, and Husson are 2-0 up.
Just another great through ball right there from the Eagles, creating an opportunity. Pagburn gets her, I think that's her first goal scored. First time she's found the score sheet as a Husson Eagle. Does have the assist. That one came from their second game against Emerson, I believe. But now gets her first goal here at Boucher Field.
A goal to go along with that assist. And the assist on that goal by a beautiful ball by Haley Tarbox there. And again, Caden, you mentioned the sun. She's certainly looked all the while like she was going to go to the near post, and she did. And lo and behold, Husson now double their money. Surprising, certainly, the amount of chances that Husson are generating, but it should come as no shock. They're playing very, very well. It could be in again here. It's the recent goal scorer, Pagburn. And that one did get her, and that'll be a free kick in a dangerous area for the Eagles. They'll play this one like a corner as Lasley will look to throw. Two-player wall there for St. Joe's. The ball is in. It's a very good one. It just couldn't find an Eagle there.
Speed and Nicholson were lined up perfectly on that back post, just couldn't control it as it came over everybody. Definitely had the opportunity if they were able to settle it down. Nobody was right there.
We've got a couple of substitutions ready to come on for the Eagles. As this first half rolls on, 2-0 to the Eagles. In a game that's been very, very attacking so far. And a great tackle there by Paige Sawyer. But again, St. Joe's pushed off the ball. A lot less pressing in this game than the Bates game, where it felt like Husson didn't have any time or space on the ball. Another through ball here. And it's Tarbox running on and able to clear it away is Allie Dowdy. Husson throw.
I believe this one should actually be a corner. I think it had a little bit of spin on it. And it went just across that touch line.
Tough angle here. It's very tough to see for our vantage point as two subs will come on for the Eagles now. As it will be Kendra Donahue to come in for Madison Higgins in defense.
Checking in for the Eagles, number 10, Evie Flint, and number 17, Kendra Donahue.
And as you just heard, Evie Flint is also in the game now. Here's the corner. That one just skewed off the head of Pagburn. And not able to find the net on that one, as that was a good chance there. I believe it was St. Louis on that second ball.
It was a great two-touch there. It was actually Laura Martell touching it down, giving it off the volley. It was a great shot on target. Garrett just doing a great job settling it, catching it right in her chest.
On holding up play. And Husson again regaining possession, so quick on their attack. Do they have a third goal with 15 minutes remaining in this first half of play? It's a great through ball into Speed. She's got space to run in and not able to find it, just wide.
Good idea there from Speed on your off foot. The only real shot you have at getting that one on goal is that left-footed power shot. But right there, just opting for try to find Pangburn, the goal scorer already. Trying to find her on the back post with a run. Definitely the right play.
That would have put Husson 3-0 up.
Cassie Schilter, and number 2, Ailey Irons.
That's both Cassie Schilter and Ailey Irons coming in to this one now. As Husson looked to clean up defensively. And the chance by Pagburn wide of the net. We'll see another substitution now, 2 of them actually for St. Joe's. It'll be Paige Sawyer coming off.
Checking in for the Monks, number 20, Kaya Dupre, and number 27, Kenzie Cochran.
Again, as you just heard, those 2 subs, Kaya Dupre and Kenzie Cochran now. Defensive subs for both sides early here, as both teams looking to lock up defensively as this first half winds down. 13 minutes. And Dupre with her first touch of the game. That'll go out for a Husson throw. 2-0 is the score here at Boucher. And that one will be a handball, very clear for all to see. So Gerfin now to take a free kick. She'll take it quickly. Looking to find Flint.
It's actually a great ball right there from Gerfin. They decide to take it quickly.
Gerfin again, just getting a touch to it was May Davis. That one could have run through and clearly stopping a chance. Another Eagles chance.
Well done, Kendra.
Donahue winning a throw in for the Eagles now as they march on in opposition territory. And running onto it is Gerfin. One of Husson's key players this half. Puts another ball in and just not able to settle it.
Gerfin making her third start. The freshman was with the team last year, but had to sit out the year due to an injury. But she has looked really, really good. Obviously, kind of has a super freshman role. With that NAC championship team last year, she had a lot of experience. Obviously had the spring ball experience as well. Now she's coming in as a freshman again, and she has looked so strong. Mainly patrolling this left side. She looked really good in the Bates game as well, creating several opportunities.
More substitutions ready for the Eagles. Should be Evelyn Haradu to come on, getting ready at least. That ball, just not finding it, the ball from Augustine. Gerfin.
Good, Taya. Supporter, Evie.
Has support. Tried to play it to Flint, who tried to play it back to Gerfin, but the attack broke down. This first half is flown by. 10 minutes left. Husson have been all over the score sheet as they have 2 goals already, and here is the substitution now. It'll be Haradu for Tarbox, who assisted the earlier goal.
27, Evelyn Harado, and number 20, Jillian Long.
2 more freshmen coming on here at Boucher Field. Some of their first touches here at the Bangor complex. Harado had 14 goals during her high school career from Denver, Colorado, all the way in Maine now. Making one of her first appearances for the Eagles.
Combine, user. Go, Jill, go, Jill, go, Jill.
Just not able to get to that one was in time was Pangburn, and the other effort there over the bar trying to test Garrett, who was a little ways out. Husson looking for a third one.
Harado looking for her first goal in a Husson uniform. Tried a nice little chip shot just over the post, so I think that one would have worked if it was just a little less power on it.
Harado did not play against Bates. These are her first minutes. As again, a dangerous ball. That one actually going off of Pangburn again.
She has looked so explosive off the bench. She's doing everything she can to find the score sheet as many times as possible so far in this game. Couple good opportunities, couple good runs. Now pressuring the goalkeeper, forcing the Monks back line and defense into a mistake. Saw it there. That one almost burned the Monks, making it a 3-goal advantage, but they escape.
First ball, green.
Pangburn, one of 2 players on this team from abroad,
Maybe a little in.
from Sheffield, England.
Good EV. No turn, no foul.
Checking in for the Monks, number 7, Frida Magwaniga.
Here with the ball.
And number 14, Abby Lloyd.
Smith dealing with it. Quick counter by the Monks. And Smith, having not had much to do already this evening, had to be quick there. She'll take her time.
First to it.
Donahue unable to fend them off. She'll commit the foul, and now the Monks have a free kick and in dangerous territory. Augustine, Abby Lloyd, Lindsay Cochran, all queuing up in the middle. As well as Magana.
This is how one of the goals came against Bates, around the same yardage out. Gabby Smith struggled reading it off the foot.
And that one just too high. You would have felt to do a little bit better on that free kick, but still, a chance is a chance. And when you're down 2 goals, anything is worth trying.
Get a touch on, she's on, she's on. Jill, go ahead.
Through ball just not able to find Pangburn.
Together, press that. Up together.
Dowdy playing it to Garrett.
Win this.
Already a couple of shaky moments early.
Yes, Cassie. Good, Cass.
A long ball
Good, that's fine.
to Lloyd. And now they'll try and take the throw quickly here. 4:41. This one cleared and away. Husson having to do more and more defending as the first half draws nearer and nearer. Here's Lloyd. Husson getting possession back with Lasley, who goes wide. A through ball there. Pangburn looking for Lasley. Will hold off her defender. Winning a corner.
Evie, go take the corner.
Ella Hosford, the 2-sport athlete, missed last season with an injury, making her first appearance on the year. First appearance in 2 years.
It'll be Evie Flint to take the corner. She's from Sheffield. One of the 2 players in this Husson team. Not able to find anybody there. Trying to settle it was Long, the freshman out of New Hampshire. Much slower of a pace that we've seen.
You want to know what it was? You said this first half is flying by. That means the game's going to slow down.
Well, could be.
That's press box code right there. You never say how fast the game tempo is.
Osford unable to find the pass there. Finds Long. Here's Long. And just a bit too much pressure on her.
I think my favorite Ella Hosford fun fact is that she broke the Maine State High School goals record with 61 goals. The person who had it before her has her number retired over there, number 21, Shelby Bradford. Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of Ella Hosford bearing injury, but there was a lot of hype when she came in as a freshman as just a pure goal scorer. I'm sure we'll see some of that now.
This will be Garrett to deal with it again. Trying to find Lloyd. Haradu on a great piece of play to get the ball back. As we have 90 seconds left in this first half. Husson already up 2 goals. Oh, Schilter couldn't clear, but a reprieve as the Eagles get by. Up with it now is Long.
The real first breakdown defensively is saved. That one should have been a goal. This lead should have been cut in half, and the Monks should have taken that momentum into halftime, but Kaylee Knoll stops it right before it goes over the goal line. That was a misread on all levels, back line and keeper, but Kaylee Knoll keeps the game where it is.
Hey, under a minute, be smart. Evelyn, drop in.
Now as the clock winds under 1 minute here at Boucher. What a great first half it's been, Caden. And Garrett just taking her time.
Well one.
Martell winning it back. And the clock bleeds down to 10 seconds.
I'm with you, but you know him.
And with that, the Eagles go into the break. 2 goals for them as they got out to a lead early and continue to apply pressure. They'll have 15 minutes to talk it over. What have you seen so far from this first half, Caden?
Well, we saw a lot of offense being made, something we didn't see too much in that Bates game. We said we wanted to see more of it towards the end of this, towards the start of this game. We wanted to see that chances be created. We saw that with the through ball. I am sure once that Monk team gets in their huddle, they're going to be talking about ways to stop the through ball because that is the one thing that is burning them. The Monks have also looked really good offensively. They just haven't been able to take their shots. They've been getting shut down pretty much as soon as they've been able to have a chance with the ball. The Husson back line has really stepped up, and the Husson front line is doing a great job getting in behind defenders and creating havoc.
And how about those 2 goalkeepers, Caden? What have you liked so far from them?
Yeah. Gabby Smith has done a great job reading the play so far. She had that one misstep at the end of that first half, but Kaylee Knoll was there to stop her. That's what the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year is there for, to save those goals. On the other end, Garrett has done a great job as well, just managing what she can manage, right? I mean, she got left out to dry on that first one. I mean, she made the first stop. She did a great job, but that obviously Addie Lasley getting that rebound, putting it in the back net. Obviously, as a goalkeeper, you hate being burnt far side, but when it's 1-on-0, it's always hard for a keeper. That ball can go anywhere. So, I mean, that's two goals right there. You can't really blame on the goalkeeper, I feel like. Garrett has done a great job managing what she can manage.
Both Addie Lasley and Jackie Pangburn finding the back of the net for the Eagles. That second goal, the assist comes to Haley Tarbox. And when we come back, we will have the second half for you as We'll be back after this.
A little bit of a different look here to start the second half, eh, Phil?
Yeah, that is good.
Emma Nicholson in the box and 6 players looking to attack off the touch. We'll see what the play here.
As the second half gets underway, Husson storming out to a 2-0 advantage here. Dominating in possessions, in shots, corners, everything offensively.
The one stat that sticks out with me, Zach Mills on the stat book today. He's doing a great job over there. 57% of the possession goes Husson's way right now. 30% of that is in Husson's attacking fourth. So 30% of their 57% total game possession is coming into the attacking areas. That is something that you really need to change if you're the Monks. Defensively, you just have to make sure you're getting that ball out, not letting Husson attack too much. Especially if you need to get back in this game.
And speed with a early shot, not troubling Garrett. And you mentioned it, Caden, 57% of possession. It's certainly been a much different game to the one that we saw last week. A lot more calm, a lot more patient from the Eagles. It's certainly been a good showing for them offensively and much needed. As the ball comes in and not able to get on the end of that one was Pangburn.
Pangburn has had such a strong first half coming off the bench for the Eagles. Obviously the goal, but she made a couple strong runs, a couple big plays in that striker position. Elevated her to get the start in the second half.
Garrett boots it long. And more and more. There's another shot from the Eagles, goes long. But you have to think it's going to be hard for Husson to just keep up with this possession stats as the game goes on. Often a counter-attacking side when these non-conference teams come in and play. It's a lot harder to maintain hold of that ball, but Husson have done it really nicely. And Dunn getting the foul there. Husson now will pile into the box looking for an opportunity here in the second half. And Dunn with a shot. Nicholson on the follow-up. 3-0 the Eagles. Emma Nicholson with her first goal of the season.
Her first goal as an Eagle as well. That one just finds the head of her, and she tucks it into the corner. Emma Nicholson making a 3-0 advantage. It was just a great play all around after a failed set piece. Did a great job just recovering, finding the scoring opportunity, and Emma Nicholson makes it threes.
And St. Joe's back to the drawing board again. We saw them conversing after that goal. And it seems, Caden, that the losses and the doubts about 2018 are being washed away here cleanly. It was a brilliant header, too. I mean, certainly struck well finding that corner.
That one's really got to feel good if you're Emma Nicholson. I mean, that's someone who's coming off a injury, transfers to a new school, has an injury, has to be sidelined for a whole year as she's recovering. I mean, fourth game back now, she scores for her new team. mean, that's one of those feelings as a player you're going to be smiling about for a long time. Your morale is up until the next game.
We are trying to find somebody, but it'll go out of play. Eagles again with a throw in here. Looking to add a fourth and strike while the iron's hot. There's Perron. She's at a quiet half so far. It's Gallup looking for Perron. And a timely intervention there. It'll fall to Davis. And Perron. Flag will go up for offside. Abby Smith saved it anyway.
I know it doesn't count, but the freshman making a slap-away save from that close of a range off someone who scores a lot of goals. I mean, that's a confidence boost there, but also the play by Emma Nicholson before that, stopping that ball from crossing on a dangerous opportunity. This Eagles back line is looking really connected, and it's hard to top, but they're looking a lot stronger than what they did against Bates.
And Emma Nicholson just building off of that great performance. St. Louis, Pangburn, and a fourth. Jackie Pangburn just topping off some Eagles dominance.
Husson goal, scored by number 11, Jackie Pangburn.
That was just a gross pass from Devin St. Louis. Jackie Pangburn is a pro goal scorer. We saw that in what her high school stats were. We saw that earlier after a touch around Garrett. But Devin St. Louis, a perfect through ball, just past the defender, puts it right on the stride of Jackie Pangburn and makes it 4 for the Eagles.
And that now 2 goals in the game. She's got herself a brace. And St. Joe's just having to deal with a very determined Eagles team. You mentioned it, Caden. It was an incredible ball to play her in, and then the finish was just top quality. Reed on the ball for the Eagles. Couldn't find Pangburn. Perron trying to release, but the ball couldn't find her. Here's Perron again. Looking to spark some offense here for St. Joe's. Again, another timely header to get that one away. Husson have really come out here and just looked at different teams since that Bates game. A lot more confident on the ball. Their possession stats show it. Obviously, the goal scoring tallies show it. Just a great offensive display today, and something that was much needed coming into it.
It's always tough facing a NESCAC school. I mean, those are the schools that are always in national contention. No matter what sport it is, you always find a couple NESCAC schools in the top 20, top 25. But Bates did look really strong, and this Husson team looked strong against them as well. And they've just looked really good today, a little bit more complete, especially in the midfield. I feel like the midfield has definitely stepped up compared to what it did last week.
And stringing the passes together well. Through ball by Dunn, not able to find the foot of St. Louis there. That substitution for the Monks. Sawyer comes back on in place of Davis. Ball's in. Pangburn tried to get a foot at it. able to clear, but not far enough, and just missing the target there was St. Louis.
Some more great. I mean, that was obviously a failed play that they were trying to run, but at the end of the day, you work around it. You force that ball to St. Louis, and just a nice little touch there. Almost made it 5 for the Eagles.
And Gerfen providing the service there. So dangerous in that first half, just proving to be more of the same in the second. Eagles could have trouble here, but not able to get anything on that as the attack breaks down. And you're right, Caden, it could have been 5, and that would have equaled their largest win margin as they scored 5. Here's Perron again.
You got your back. You're good. You're good. Win this.
Again, another Monks attack breaks down. They just have not looked solid offensively this game. 1 or 2 chances in the first half that they weren't able to connect with, and just a frustrating day for those forwards. We mentioned how good that they were offensively and just have not had the chances. Too many passes that have been met with some rearguard defense by Husson. Here's the free kick. And offside there was Nicholson, who was looking for her second goal. Oh, plays it back to Smith. Well, at kickoff, there weren't too many people here, but as the game has gone on, the crowds have started to come, and they've come in their multitudes. A lot of people wanting to see this. Here's Speed. Trying to play it into Pangburn, but just behind it.
Nice little play there by Speed with the cutback, finding Pangburn right outside the arc. Trying to make it a hat trick, just couldn't get enough power on it. Garrett was placed perfectly. Back to your point, a lot of this crowd wants to see what the defending NAC champions have in store. Obviously, they're going to be looking to add back-to-back champions to their resume.
And a 4-0 win against a team that you haven't beaten in 7 years looks pretty good. As previously before this game, they were on a 4-game losing streak. As the cross comes in and dealt with again. But Husson just obliterating all doubts that maybe they weren't the team. And it's early on, it's non-conference play, or out of conference play. I'm not sure anybody was worried about them come the end of the season, but it is nice to see for a Husson supporter them competing like this. As the Monks attack breaks down again, another clear. Intercepted by Dunn. And a foul there. Looked like on Bridget Davis, or by Bridget Davis, on Lindsay Reed. Last week's co-player of the week for the NAC And the throwing will be stopped for a substitution. Speaking on that, co-player of the week in the NAC, Caden. This week, 3 out of the 4 weekly awards went the way of Farmington, who had themselves an incredible week.
Yeah, Farmington looks to be really good. I think they were a very good team last year. I think they just had a little bit of a lull come the playoff time. But they're a team that's always in contention. They're a team that's always going to play Husson good. They're going to play everyone else other than that good. They're a team to watch out for. That is for sure. I know MMA has had their bunches of weekly awards as well, including a Rookie of the Week this week, and then I believe they had a defenseman player of the week before.
And Natalie Tracy for the Beavers, racking up an incredible 4 goals in 2 games, back-to-back braces. 5 in 3 games for her, all told. Having just a flying start, and that match against Husson will come October 18th. Homecoming. Certainly excited for that one.
It's always nice to have a homecoming game.
Two substitutions for the Eagles. Coming on is Cassie Schilter and Kendra Donahue in place of Kaylee Nolt. And Madison Higgins. Husson looking to just get some fresh legs in defensively to see out the remaining half hour of this one. Done with time.
She's not afraid to pull from here.
She does just that and hits where the crossbar and the post meet with an incredible effort there. A screamer from outside of the box.
We saw Paige Dunn do that a couple times against Bates as well, where she would just pull up from anywhere and it would become a very close opportunity. That one, the closest it's been.
All into Gerfin, not able to find the foot of Lasley there. Here's Reed. And just not able to find enough on that header was Pangburn.
I like that these upperclassmen are trying to feed the freshman as much as they can, trying to give her the hat trick and what would be her first.
It's something she's definitely going to be thinking about as she continues to get chances. That'll be a foul against the Eagles. And Husson's upcoming fixtures, they play here at Boucher again. As Nicholson deals with the danger, Husson will host UMaine Fort Kent on Saturday. As we mentioned, that game will be back here. Myself and Caden will be on that broadcast. He's done looking to push the play forward, and again it'll run through to the goalkeeper, who will take her time. What have you seen from this first half, Caden, from both sides?
Well, it's just Husson playing how they like to play. One thing that I've really liked about Husson so far, especially in the first game against Base, we saw it. They started to get away from it towards the second half, but their relentless pressure, especially on the offensive end, you don't normally see that too much. You don't normally see that pressure being put on a back line or putting on the defensive midfielders. But Husson is doing a great job winning the first ball, winning the second ball. And then if they end up losing one of those ones, then they're pressuring the person immediately with 1 or 2 players, and they're getting that ball back and immediately hitting the counterattack, which is how they've scored most of their goals.
And a couple of substitutions. Marilla Corletto coming on for the Eagles.
Number 14, Marilla Corletto. In for the Monks, number 6, Abby Laney. Number 23, Madison Ayers. And number 16, Brielle Piggott.
Corletto was a freshman phenom here for the Eagles. NAC All-Conference first team. Only lost Rookie of the Year to her counterpart, Addie Lasley. Injury, I believe, kept her out in 2023. Came back in 2024. Started coming off the bench a little bit. Started more towards the end of the year, but looked very strong in this defensive midfield zone where she is right now. Missed the first couple games of this season, but she checks back in for this one.
Oh, great win back by Tarbox. And she'll take one deflecting off of the defender Sawyer and out for a corner. Good opportunity there for the Eagles to get a 5th goal. They crowd the keeper as the ball comes in. Tarbox in there fighting for it. Cleared out by the Monks.
It's a good clearance right there from the Monks. A lot of mayhem in that box, especially from that set piece. The Eagles just crowd the keeper as much as possible. That's just to create havoc. They did a great job talking to each other and eventually clearing that ball away from a scoring opportunity.
Perron now. As that one goes out, she'll have to play. She has been playing a lot deeper of a role, trying to get in possession more and help out her team, who have just had all sorts of struggles against this Eagles defense. There's a lot of pressure there from Pangburn, but not able this time. One of them did actually deflect off of her and almost went in the first half. She's certainly all over the play for the Eagles, providing a lot of pressure. Well, Caden, 23 minutes to go. Eagles are up 4-0. How do you like them going into their next game?
Yeah, they have a tough opponent. I mean, technically, another non-conference game, playing Maine Fort Kent. Technically, I don't remember what they call it. I think it's NAIA school. Technically not an NCAA school, but it's a tough, tough school. They're going to play hard. I think they battled MMA to a 2-1 score. So it is a school that is going to play hard. They're going to play well. They're normally well connected. I don't know much about Maine Fort Kent. This is the first time I've had the privilege of calling a soccer game with their school involved.
The ball swung in. And Perron with a shot. That's pretty wide. 3 substitutions for the Eagles. Martell checks back in, as does Gerardo and Long. It's a good chance there. Just broke down for St. Joseph, but that's a little bit of offense that they just haven't had a lot of this game. Gallup trying to just touch it on to one of her teammates, but just a little too high, not able to find anything, as it will just result in a goal kick.
Back to you, Maine for Ken. We were looking at the roster sheet for them the other day. A lot of their talent, believe it or not, comes from some of the Caribbean islands, which I thought was crazy. I didn't expect them to know much about UMaine Fort Kent down in the Caribbean, but I believe over half their roster comes from a Caribbean island.
Another St. Joe's attack stuffed out. Husson played just a solid game defensively. Lasley with a great move. Comes into the box and in two minds about whether to shoot or play her teammate out there. Ends up resulting in a goal kick. And coming on now, Frida Magwana coming on, the native of Kenya.
Checking in for the Monks, number 7, Frida Magwanita.
Ball through to Perron here, who's in, but just can't find the target on that one. That was a very critical chance, but it goes wide. You got to think, Caden, that she's just lacking a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, this whole Monks team, 2 games into the season, still trying to find their first goal with 20 minutes to go in game 2. I mean, it feels like they have looked so much better in this first half offensively. They're getting more chances. They've had a little bit more to do offensively, making good runs, making good passes. The setups have been really good. Most of that being Perron. She's doing a really good job creating for her teammates, creating for herself, just not being able to find the back of the net. You'd like to get one just for that confidence, just to say you scored one on the year so far. But they have looked really good in the second half compared to the first half, especially offensively.
They're enjoying a lot more of that possession than they did in the first half, as putting on the burners was Addie Lasley again, but just want to go out for a throw. There was a substitution made as Gerfin went off, and Ailey Irons came on in her place as Husson looked to move to a more defensive formation here and see out the remainder of this one. Here's Long. Squaring a ball and just not able to get on the end of it, as multiple chances now for her hat trick have gone astray for Jackie Pangburn.
Might be thinking about it a little bit too much now. A couple opportunities for her, but either way, it's going to be a 10 from Dennis Mullins for her graded scorecard. 2 goals and only her 4th game here for the Eagles. Can't complain about it. She's definitely going to be up for maybe a couple Rookie of the Week awards.
Still looking for that hat trick, though. That will top off her day and probably Coach Dennis Mullins' day 2. And the ball in by freshman Jillian Long. Able to find her on that, just picked her out. Seen a couple of those this half from the Eagles, just balls that have just gone into the box and found the unmarked player. Husson, by all accounts, should be 7-8 goals up here in this half, but they'll definitely take 4.
Nothing wrong with a 4-goal lead.
Smith boots it long. Corrado with a brilliant turn, but just can't find Lasley. Husson continuing to just make chances this half, as they did in the first half. Not as clinical, but as we said, 4-0 is definitely a favorable score.
2 games now, we've almost seen every freshman on the field so far at Boucher. What has your thoughts been about most of these freshmen?
Well, again, we've seen 2 games, and I think they've played brilliantly. It's a lot was said about those 12 departures for them. Certainly a lot of big names, but the players that are coming in now are really showing that drive to win, and I think that's only going to help Dennis Mullins as they look for a repeat possibly of their championship winning season. But Long being held up, able to find room to play a pass across, but just not able to find their teammates.
Yeah, go, go, go! Pressure her! Pressure that, pressure hard! Nick it, good!
The Eagles are just giving Monks no time. We can hear it over our headphones right now. The amount of screams from the Eagles sideline about pressure, pressure, pressure. As soon as a Monk touches the ball, you just don't normally see that, especially in the state of Maine in soccer, let alone in New England athletics. You just don't really see that amount of pressure on the ball that quickly.
No, it's certainly something that, when you look at professional soccer, teams like Liverpool and German teams, they like to play that Ganger pressing style as Lasley flying up the wing, looking for anybody. And she was able to find her teammate there, but just unable to finish. We have 3 substitutions that are now going to come into the game, maybe for the Eagles. Yeah, they will now. As
that was a great find by Lasley, finding Ailey Irons, cutting across the arc, right inside the 18, just a little bit wide, looking for his first goal at Boucher Field. The Scottish native has looked really good so far as a freshman.
And those substitutions that we mentioned, Ella Hosford coming on with Evie Flint. As the goal kick is taken, and again, Husson just dominating the 50-50 battles.
Checking in for the Monks, number 19, Allie Dowdy. Into the game for the Eagles, number 10, Evie Flint. Number 5, Ella Hosford. And number 19, Madison Higgins.
Yes, Ella, push! Take away the pass, Ella!
Higgins, the other substitute in that one, trying to find Hosford there. Unable to find her. Here are the Monks coming back now with a quick break. Here's Perron onside and over the bar again. Still looking for that first goal.
The second half has looked really good for the Monks defensively. I know we've touched on it earlier, but they have just done such a great job finding their runs, finding their space, working with it. Perron individually has had a couple good opportunities, couple good shots, couple good passes. Just nothing has fallen for him. It's just a little bit unluckiness for the Monks.
Devin St. Louis coming back into the game now. As the Husson forwards have just been so clinical. Certainly, again, the other side of the coin there, as you mentioned, one side not able to just find anything, find that final ball as the offside flag goes up on Waganya.
And what's funny about that is you could arguably say they're missing one of their top offensive players from last season right now. Olivia Charles still out. I think she's dealing with foot injury, if I remember right. But the West Virginia native had 4 goals and 5 assists in her first year with the Eagles. She's someone that just makes offense happen no matter where she is. I mean, she had 46 shot attempts last year. Just an absolute threat when she gets the ball and scoring opportunity. And she hasn't seen the field yet this year. Eagles waiting to get her back.
Signs of more to come is what I'm hearing from Caden Trenoweth there. This Eagles team certainly has a lot of potential. And you got to think, with a coach like Dennis Mullins, who has shown he can win, and win pretty convincingly, 4-0 in that final, as we're seeing the effects now of a long game. I believe that is Perron down.
Cass, you comfortable in the middle? Are you comfortable in the middle? Yeah. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's just a cramp, but they get mad at us.
Now it's like trainer Kevin come on and take a look at Perron. It seems to be just a cramp, but they want to be sure. She's done a lot of running this game. She's had to.
You excited for Saturday?
I am excited for Saturday, Caden.
UMFK, not a team we normally see too much. Do you get to see them at your time at Central Maine?
No, I don't think I did.
No?
I don't think they came down to play. But I'm excited to see, again, this Eagles team. As we mentioned, a lot of fresh faces, new names, and, again, freshmen that have proven today that they really want to play and they want to win.
I always go back to the fact that just in Kate Harriman and Aviola alone, you lost 34 goals in those two people. And I feel like it's a big confidence boost for Dennis Mullins to see a freshman go out there and score 2 goals in only her second appearance at Boucher, her 4th appearance in total. I mean, just finding those goals any way you can is just going to put a smile on Dennis Mullins' face, who's actually looking at his 50th career win. He's 10-50 away from career win number 50.
And that's going to be a pretty big accomplishment for him. I mean, that's
14, Abby Lloyd. And into the game
that's certainly no small feat.
Oh.
It looks like Perron was up and able to be off. Not the way she wanted to end her game, certainly, but these days do happen. There's a foul there, it looked like, on St. Louis. Or rather, St. Louis committed the foul.
Did we get Kennedy Freston coming on for her Boucher debut?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you're close to him. Maybe.
No, she's out there right now.
That's right, number 15, Kennedy Freston, coming into the game.
She slipped under the radar during the injury timeout.
She did.
Roosevelt, Utah native, making her Boucher debut, long way from home. Only 26 minutes so far for her, but gets the nod here in a 4-0 game. She'll play the final 10 minutes out.
And Caitlin Jones now coming in, now making her Boucher debut. She did not feature in the game against Bates last week, but she's coming on for the last 10 minutes.
Now we have officially seen everybody on the roster in these last 2 days.
That's got to feel good if you're Dennis Mullins, to be able to just know that you can now have all of your players say they've had game minutes. It's very crucial when it comes time to start thinking about those games that get more serious as the season continues and as you push closer to playoff time. Having that experience, having a deep bench, certainly something I know he doesn't take for granted.
Especially with an early turnaround on Saturday. I believe that game's around noon, 1 o'clock. So
You're
being
going to
able
want people fresh.
Yeah. Going to the bench is always crucial in a midweek game. Getting the opportunity to just unload the bench, seeing everybody now. It's got to feel good as a head coach.
St. Louis, Husson looking to break. Long is away. And fighting for it and not able to get a pass across, but good effort by both women there. Battling for the ball in that box.
Jillian Long a little aggressive there after a big touch, trying to run past. I believe she ran into Allie Dowdy. I remember, if I see that number 19 right.
That looks to be, Caden.
Thought for sure it'd be a called foul in a 4-0 game, but ref didn't see it that way. Fair challenge.
Are you a fan of that, Caden, or are you at least in support of that, a referee not giving decisions, even if they're blatant in a game that is maybe a higher scoring game?
Depends on which team it's against.
How so?
I think if the winning team commits a foul, it should be called a foul. If the losing team has a little push-shove match and it's a 50-50 call, just let them get away with it. Obviously, unless that game is out of hand, approaching those final minutes. We've seen it a couple times where, oh, they're losing big. Let's go out hard foul. Obviously, you have to call it in those instances. This hasn't been a game where I'd say it's been overly aggressive, so I don't feel the need. I wouldn't see the need to call those fouls.
And just, again, another attack that broke down. I believe it was Ayers that was looking to play that ball across and get something into the box. Now, we could agree to disagree on that, Caden. I think if it's a foul, it should be called. I don't see too much of a reason to just let him play. I think you got to be to the laws of the game, because then you start letting small things go and they can become bigger things. And then what if somebody gets injured? As Gallup's in, looking and not finding her teammates. Lloyd not able to connect cleanly on that one. But I do understand it. I mean, refs, they want to go home too. And if it is like a couple of years ago, 22-0 or something like that, I think Husson women's.
Yeah, when we were losing 7-0 to Bates, you wanted them to call fouls on us?
Well,
not Bates, Lewiston.
It was Lewiston, yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that. I was in net against just an unbelievable Lewiston team.
That was middle school. I wasn't there yet. It was senior. No, that was junior year. That was the COVID soccer year where we lost.
Yeah, that wasn't
6-0.
EL?
I don't know. We got smacked by most of those teams.
Yeah.
We got destroyed.
Well, when you put someone who is barely 5 foot in net, who can't even reach the crossbar, I'm not doing myself any favors, but we're past that at this point. In net, I mean, what do you expect? Yes, I gave up 7 against Lewiston, 5 against EL.
There was that Morse game in JV.
The Morse game, and Robbie
that was
Gladu took out a kid, got a penalty that I saved, and it went through my gloves because my gloves were so rain-soaked because it was pouring. I remember that game. Every time I see Mr. Gladu, which is quite often when I do travel back home, I see that red Gladu roofing truck. I bring up Morse. Fond memories. Here's Lloyd. And Pigot just looking for anything there. Under 5 minutes remaining, actually under 4 minutes remaining, excuse me. Husson staring at a first win here at Boucher. Long. Can she catch up to it? She can. Takes a touch and then unable to get the ball across. Go out for a throw.
One thing I'm sure you appreciate, your first play-by-play soccer broadcast, you were very nervous about learning names. And they've tested you today.
They've tested me.
They've thrown everybody out there for you.
That's right. Might have a word or two with with both coaches afterwards. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's been a great experience and hoping to grow from this. Certainly can only go up from here. As in and finding the back of the net for the Monks. Hard to see who it was, but nonetheless, it's a goal. I believe that was Cindy Gallup.
Monk's goal.
They were waiting for that moment to finally break through. St. Joe's finally found it. Taking away the clean sheet Gabby Smith has worked hard for. But that was a beautiful, beautiful through ball that was just placed perfectly. Eventually, finally, they've got their first goal of the season.
And Sydney Gallup getting her first on the year now. As the Husson University supporters, would you call that a chant? What would you call that?
I'd call that kindergarten spelling. I wish they were doing that from the start, though, not with 3 minutes left in a 4-1 game.
Well,
they should have been here from the opening kickoff saying that.
Give them some credit. We were able to hear that from all the way over here.
That is true.
But here's Long. She's in. And St. Louis, can she find the finish? It's over. Just couldn't find the finish on that one as it goes over the bar. But in a 4-1 game, you can turn your head to a couple of those. Certainly could have been a lot more in the second half. She tries to find Long, and able to get up to it was Long.
She has played really aggressive since coming in this second half, especially down this right line. Pretty much every through ball she has, she's initiating the body contact, trying to work through people. She's looked really, really strong ever since coming in.
And now, 1-2, it's Freston. And Long again now with the possession, as you said, Caden. She has not stopped running this game. Husson trying to get one more before the close. We're down to the final minute. 4-1 is the score.
Sign of a well-coached team is when your bench can come in and just play the same way the starters have. And I feel like we've really seen that so far. I mean, most of these players out right there right now are freshmen. They haven't been with the team for more than a month now. And they're coming out. They're playing with the same intensity, same strategy, making those passes just like the senior starters did before them. That's a sign of a well-coached team, and Dennis Mullins rightfully will get his 50th win, his first accolade other than the NAC championship.
Five seconds to go. And that will do it. The final whistle sounds. And Husson, after 7 years, have their first win against St. Joseph's on this ground and have found their first win of the season here in what's been a truly dominating display. Offense coming seemingly from everywhere. What's been your take so far, Caden?
I thought this was a well more connected team compared to what we saw last week against Bates College. They made more of their passes. They finished their opportunities. They were seeing the field a lot better than what they did on Wednesday. I think on Wednesday, just a lot was hitting them all at once. Obviously, the first start at home. It was their first start against a NESCAC school. Bates is always a tough school to play against in general. But today they made their passes, made their through balls. I mean, they were seeing the ball well. It was a very nice flow from defense to offense. And I feel like they deserved all 4 of their goals. I mean, they set themselves up for success 4 times, and they got 4 goals. I mean, they did miss a couple ones that probably should have gone in. But 3-goal advantage, first win at home, and we'll see if they can do it again on Saturday.
Who's been your standout player of this game, Caden?
Got to give it to the freshman, Jackie Pangborn, right?
Yeah.
Right? 2 goals.
A brace, could have been a hat trick multiple times over, but she'll be happy with that performance anyway. Well, Husson get the win here, and they march on to play UMaine Fort Kent on Saturday. As we mentioned, that game is at 1 o'clock. Again, both Caden and myself will have coverage for you here on Husson Eagles Sports Network. St. Joseph's will they will play at home to Colby Sawyer. That's a GNAC conference game for you. Set also for this Saturday. Scheduled to kickoff for that is at 1 o'clock. Well, we've certainly seen a good performance here, Caden, a great performance. And we're definitely looking forward to the next one. For Caden Trenowith and Philip Robarge, Dan O'Gara on camera. We will see you on Saturday.